Death Proof was... It stars Kurt Russell as Stuntman Mike, a stuntman who hunts two different sets of voluptuous women and intentionally crashes his death-proof car into them in order to kill unsuspecting women. According to the movie, in the stunt community, a death-proof car is a car tailored to crash without leaving a scratch on the driver inside the car. This is in order to achieve practical car chases for a film. Welcome back to my Halloween series, everyone. Today we're continuing our Halloween reviews with Quentin Tarantino's horror thriller, Death Proof. Death Proof is one part of a double feature spoof film called Grindhouse. Grindhouse combines Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof and Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror. These two were made to recreate the feeling of watching a B-movie double feature in an old Grindhouse theater. Grindhouse is actually a movie on its own, consisting of two parts, but I've never seen the other half of Grindhouse called Planet Terror because it's way more explicit than Death Proof is. So I'm not speaking on the whole of Grindhouse as a film, just Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof segment. This whole movie is intentionally edited to look very choppy, just like an old B-movie. Like, in the middle of someone's sentence, it will just cut to another shot of the same angle, but for some reason, it'll just continue with their sentence. Tarantino worked with Sally Menke, the same director he's worked with on every one of his films up until Inglourious Basterds, when she unfortunately passed away. Part of the recreation to the nostalgic feel of Death Proof is derived from Sally Menke's fantastic job editing. As usual with one of Quentin Tarantino's films, the dialogue is impeccably written. There are so many well-written scenes of nothing but just long, profane exchanges between characters that are talking about nothing. The whole first half of this movie focuses on a group of friends who are spending the day together, and every long exchange they had was actually really entertaining to watch. Out of all the performances in this movie, the two that I really liked were Zoe Bell as herself and Kurt Russell as the main character, Stuntman Mike. Zoe Bell is actually a stunt woman in real life and was Uma Thurman's stunt double on Kill Bill, and she just had a very energetic and fun presence to the whole movie. And Kurt Russell was by far the greatest performance in the whole movie. He was very menacing in some scenes, and in others he was very sweet and sympathetic and charming. I like that Kurt Russell has such a large emotional range to show off in his performances. There's a scene where Kurt Russell's character, Stuntman Mike, is in a hospital, and he gets visited by two police officers who are obviously from the most stereotypical version of Texas imaginable. Fun fact, these officers are the exact same officers investigating the massacre at the bride's wedding in Kill Bill. This is one of Tarantino's more misunderstood movies. A lot of people will say that this is his worst movie. I don't disagree. I don't hate Death Proof, but I like every single one of Tarantino's movies better than Death Proof. Like, even Tarantino himself said that he likes Death Proof, but he thought it was comparatively his worst movie. Death Proof was made to mimic a B-movie, including all the trappings of a B-movie. So there are certain stylistic choices that, although matching the intentional tone of the movie, can prove to be hindrances to the overall film. Every character in this movie is very emotionally shallow. They have a gimmick, and they give some witty dialogue, and that's about it. Some of the scenes can also feel a bit long when you get to the second act. The first and third act are fantastic, but it's the second act that really drags itself, and that's definitely something when it comes to Tarantino movies. Death Proof isn't even that long. It's 97 minutes, and therefore, it's Tarantino's shortest film. Quentin's films often don't push their runtime. I've never felt like any of his films were slow-moving. That's something, considering a lot of his films are super long. But watching Death Proof, I really started to feel like I needed to check the time. Quentin Tarantino is often really horny in his movies. If you're familiar with his work, you'd notice that ever since Pulp Fiction, he's made it evident that he has some sort of fetish towards women's feet. It's really prominent in Death Proof. You just get uncomfortable at some parts. Don't get me wrong, I'm not shaming him or anything. I love the dude's work and he seems like a cool guy. Love who or what you want. But was it really necessary to have this scene where Kurt Russell just licks a woman's foot? Death Proof was made to mimic a B movie, so there's no grade more fitting to give Death Proof than a B. Pretty good movie. I still think this is comparatively Tarantino's worst movie, but I like it. You see, the most important word of that sentence is comparative. I like this movie. I like every single one of Tarantino's movies, but I like all of his movies better. Like, even though this is his worst movie, that's just because something's gotta be in last place, and I still think this is a darn good movie. Death Proof has one of the best car chases I've ever seen in a film. Some of the other best movie car chases I've seen have been found in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Baby Driver, The French Connection, and the movie containing the best car chase I've ever seen is Bullet. Similar to Death Proof, some other clever action movies revolving around driving are Baby Driver, Speed, Duel, and Mad Max Fury Road. That about wraps it up for my review of Death Proof. Before you leave, why don't you tell me your favorite car chase in a movie? My favorite car chase is the one in the Steve McQueen movie, Bullet. After you tell me about that, you can head on out. Stay safe and watch good movies. Bye!